Welcome to Diary of a Castaway, episode 6 on Print Island. And this week I've got Jean Lloyd. What a great lady Jean Lloyd is. We've met a few years ago during lockdown again on the Crown Pub. If you don't know what the Crown Pub is, maybe you should Google it. I think it's a bit of a legend in the print world. And the first thing I wanted to know from Jean was why? Why leave the corporate world, working for Kodak, and set out on your own, do your own thing, become a castaway?
What was going on in your head at that time?
I guess you look at your circumstances, the family setup, everything, you know. I mean, I took on a corporate role where I lived in different countries and I had, I was far away from home without my network and my support structure. And I think the whole thing was, I just want to have a bit of normal in my life, I guess.
I get that. Life gets hectic. The demands of reports and end of months and quarterly targets and reviews. It's very tempting to do something on your own.
Then I also realized that I had a lot of skills that I could give back.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
It's a home, and you realize that these people could all use some of your expertise and your skill set.
So, having lined everything up, Jean, wasn't that a little bit scary anyway?
And to be fair, I was very nervous thinking, because let's face it, you got a guaranteed salary, you got a guaranteed package, you got all of those.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're going to make it happen yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess having printers on board and saying, we want you to do this for us, we want you to help us, you knew that there was a bit of income coming in.
Of course, it's not just Jean, it's Phil as well. Phil Walsh, her partner in crime, the ultimate power couple.
We decided that with our knowledge and with our expertise, we could be a power couple. And it wasn't about the power couple, it was about we could add real value from our expertise. And when I got invited to do a few projects and things that I've now, freelance projects that I've taken on, there was room to have a partner. And I thought the two of us would be able to really, I think we know what the market wants, what the market needs. So let's do a JV, if you want to call it that, and we can do this together.
And I guess Jean and Phil met at Kodak.
We both worked at Kodak, and then obviously worked in the same countries as well, those kind of things. So, then we've got the whole Print Island. So we are both the Treehouse at Print Island.
Hi, I'm Jean Lloyd.
And I'm Phil Walsh. Welcome to Print Island.
Yeah, looking forward to that. When are we going to see that? Are we going to see that soon?
Let's put it this way. We're filming at our first show next week, and we've got a whole lot of interviews scheduled. And then we've got a whole lot of interviews lined up, and just basically, and you can then get an insight into what it is we're going to be covering and doing. And we obviously trying to do things different, because that's what Print Island is all about.
Yeah.
And so, we've got some exciting things lined up, and that started from nothing.
Yeah. Well, I know in the morning, when I have my breakfast, I put on breakfast TV, and I always end up turning it off because I'm not really interested. And I think a Jean and Phil show at breakfast time would be just great with a bowl of cereal. I think that would work.
Well, as Phil always says, it won't be boring. So,
And yes, Jean, Phil, one day I'll make it to South Africa when the good weather comes around. And so my final question to Jean ended up being quite a long answer. I asked for one piece of advice to anyone taking a risk in their career and possibly going it alone. And I didn't get just one answer, I got two.
When everybody hears you go on your own, I think everybody comes to you and I've got some stuff that you can do. I've got a bit of work that you can do. So I think Phil and I both discovered that there were a lot of promises and a lot of people saying, give it a few weeks, contact us.
Oh my God, yes, we should totally hang out. I'm going to text you, okay?
And you can't live in hope and you can't live for that, because a lot of it I'd say probably 95% of it doesn't materialize. The other bit of thing I could say is whatever contracts you do get and whatever people need help, make sure you get paid.
Pay me now.
There's a lot of people that just don't pay their debts.
I know where you're coming from.
Anyway, the conversation went on for quite a while after that, and it's probably best for me not to share most of it. Next week, I've got somebody that I brought out of hiding. At least that's the way it seemed to me. Somebody who I tracked down to the Czech Republic, who had been in the spotlight for quite a while in the corporate world, and then just seemed to disappear off the face of the earth. But he hasn't, and I found him. And the only way is to watch next week's episode 7. So I'll see you then. Diary of a Castaway, only on Print Island.